Going to turn our attention back to the wasting of your tax dollars. The first of several congressional inquiries into the growing scandal the General Services Administration gets underway in Washington, D.C. Congressman Jeff Denham of California is among many who are seeking answers. He joins us live with more on this. And it's almost $1 million that was wasted on parties for GSA employees. Is that correct?
Not just parties, but that was the one party they did in Vegas. We've also uncovered vacations in Hawaii, vacations they did with staff in Palm Springs. You know, this is the agency that's supposed to set the guidelines for the rest of government.
And we had the Obama administration and the president actually saying, what, a year ago, that he wanted everyone to look at ways they could save money. And this one Vegas conference you talk about, in which they spent over $800,000, we learned that they have this thing called the Jackass Award. Whenever they want to spend money, they have to have an awards dinner. So they call it the, and I apologize for this language, but that's what they call it, the Jackass Award.
Yeah, it's amazing. The president put down a mandate well over a year ago to say that they were supposed to look at efficiencies, ways to save money, and he also put an executive order in for no bonuses. And yet, this agency, they continue to give each other bonuses back and forth. And in fact, at this Vegas vacation, they gave themselves gambling money, $500 to $1,500 in cash per person.
I want to talk about who was in charge. Martha Johnson has resigned. Will she testify today? She was part of the Clinton transition team, by the way, in 1993. Is she going to be appearing?
Yes. We've actually subpoenaed her as well as Bob Peck and a number of the other people that have either been put on administrative leave or resigned or been fired. But we want to hear from them. We want to find out how deep is this culture of waste, fraud, and even corruption, how far does it go? Is it just in GSA? Is it outside of GSA? And then we want to make sure that, you know, we're holding those accountable. I mean, in some cases, you know, the laws were broken here, and somebody needs to go to jail, and certainly the money should be paid back where it was just a blatant abuse of tax dollars.
Well, blatant abuse, $75,000 for a team-building exercise, $31,000 for networking, a reception with $19 per person, artisanal cheese display. Is there ever any justification for these kinds of conferences for government employees? I would think the conferences without the luxury would be a good idea.
Well, certainly there's the opportunity to get together as more of a retreat or, you know, an annual meeting. But GSA holds all of the properties for government. We have so many vacant buildings. We have so many buildings that we are tenants to somebody that could put this on. I mean, you don't see this type of abuse in Des Moines, Iowa. You know, when they come in, they do a one-day event, and then they're gone again. But to do a ribbon cutting in Hawaii for a 1-hour ribbon cutting and then stay for 8 days and snorkel and do everything else that you do with your family is irresponsible.
You know, I have to ask you this. I'm not sure how Martha Johnson or the other former GSA executives will respond, but do you think they might turn the finger and point at Congress? I know years ago there was the criticism of the congressional junkets in which taxpayer money was wasted as congressmen would take their families on lavish trips, which were written off as education trips. Might they do that to you?
You know, there certainly could be finger pointing. There's certainly been finger pointing at the last administration. They're trying to pass the buck. I don't care where you point the finger. If it's wrong, we're going to fix it. I mean, that's the problem here. I mean, this is a blatant abuse of taxpayer dollars. And, you know, we've been asking for an audit for over a year and a half. I'm a freshman, just came in a year and a half ago and chair of this committee. That was one of the first things we asked for was to show us an audit of this slush fund that you have, and they tried to hide it from us. So we want to make sure that for the taxpayer, we have not only transparency, but we're making sure that they're doing an annual audit so everybody can see exactly how they spend their money.
Jeff Denham, thank you very much for joining us on The Watch, looking out for U.S. taxpayer dollars. We appreciate it, and we're going to be watching those hearings here at the Fox Business Network. Have a good day, sir.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.
Want to head back